And good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to the north of Greece. We're live here in the city of Thessaloniki at the PAOK Sports Arena, the Palataki, for the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup, a two-game in which is based on aggregate scoring, but it is indeed a rematch of last season's finals, in which the final game was actually played in this arena. Well, PAOK having taken down Peristeri Betson, and then, of course, in the semis, taking down UCAM Murcia, while Surne Bilbao having to take on both Pepkinspor and both Falco Sambatai. It's only fitting that the 11th final indeed is a rematch between both teams who made it to the finals last season. Well, they have actually met each other twice already, and that was in the round of 16. Bilbao winning both games, the second one being live here at the Palataki, only a narrow one-point victory. But as you can see, the atmosphere, the team that once won both the FIBA Supporter and Courage Championship back in the 90s is now looking for that third Continental European Championship. And the question will be, have the Dikephalos Aietos Tavoda, the double-headed eagle of the North, the mighty PAOK, have they learned the lessons? Well, there's a man who's been leading them so far this season. But, of course, it's been the addition of Breen Tyree that's really propelled this team, averaging 17 points per game so far here in the FIBA Europe Cup. But the additions, wow, look who's in the building. Brane Prelovic, former PAOK player and a legend in this part of the world. Because Brane Prelovic worked in the backroom staff after his playing days with the mighty PAOK. But going back to this team, I mean, he's got a heavy job to do to lead this team to a continental victory here in the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. But going back to their key players, well, they've had some very interesting signings come in, the likes of Pat Beverly, as we already mentioned, Breen Tyree, and we also saw Cleveland Melvin just recently. Well, our three referees, three of the very finest, Martins Kovlaskis from Latvia, Mikhail Maniste from Estonia, and Man Harazov from Bulgaria. You've probably seen these three officials in FIBA Eurobaskets, Basketball World Cups, and even the Basketball Olympics. And tonight, they'll do a magnificent job for the opening game here in the 11th final of the 2026 FIBA Europe Cup final. Well, Palataki's got to be buzzing here this evening. Of course, the mighty PAOK, knowing that they've got to use this home crowd to be at their advantage. 10,000 mighty PAOK fans. But talking about the visitors, they lost the opening game of the campaign, but since then, they've won 15 in a row. This team, of course, is very talented, a lot of returning players, but the new addition of Justin Jaworski only propels them and makes them tougher to try and defend their FIBA Europe Cup championship. Well, there it is. The double-headed eagle of the North, Dikephalos Aietos Tavoda. And while Surne Bilbao last season winning the first leg by 7 points, of course, in the Basque Country, they came here and only lost by 2, but won the final based on aggregate. Well, there's Martin Krampel, having just played this past summer at the FIBA Eurobasket with Luka Doncic. You just saw Harold Fry, the Norwegian international. He was a part of the championship campaign, but also Lithuanian sharpshooter Margiris Nomantis. Just seen his previous team, Rytas Vilnius, make it to the Final Four of the Basketball Champions League, but now he gets to represent Surne Bilbao in a championship defense. Well, when you look at the history of the FIBA Europe Cup, I mean, it's a magnificent competition. The competition began back in 2015, but no team has ever won a repeat here in the FIBA Europe Cup. Because we've had champions from Italy, France, Germany. Last season was indeed our first champion from the Spanish Liga Endesa, the ACB, but last season was actually the first final where we had finalists coming from both Spain and from Greece. And it's the first time in history two teams have played in consecutive finals against each other. So you got to be thinking tonight, PAOK, they've got a lot of motivation. The double-headed eagle of the North, a lot of history. This is 100 years of celebration of the mighty PAOK Basketball Club. Well, we might as well enjoy the local entertainment because it's a big time for this team. Because the new ownership planning big things for the mighty PAOK, and they would like to kickstart their campaign with a championship. As mentioned, PAOK have won both the FIBA Supporter Cup and Courage Cup in the past, but they have never won anything as big as the FIBA Europe Cup. Last season, Dimitris Katsiavelis in the second leg was able to score to put them ahead in the tiebreaker. But the good three-point shooting from Harold Fry and company here with Surne Bilbao, they were able to hang on for the championship. But let's get set now to look at the key players for the mighty PAOK. I say, we're now 5 minutes away from tip-off, but big time now is because a lot of excitement, because you go back to a couple of years ago, there wasn't this kind of a buzz. I mean, they had some great campaigns in the Basketball Champions League, but they just couldn't get to the round of 16. Because there you see Timmy Allen, also known as Buckets, another key addition to this team, having spent the first part of the season in Italy. Well, there's another key addition, Clifford Omoruyi. He has been such a big inside presence with this team. The man in front of him, Adonis Koniaris, who's featured many times for the Greek national team. And then you got your veterans, Nikos Pasidis, and as you just saw there, Theodoros Zaris, and Konstantinos Yatridis. We like to call him Yatris. But I don't think there was any bigger buzz than this man, Patrick Beverley. Because prior to his NBA career, he actually played here in Greece, but he played somewhere else in a location known as Piraeus. But not quite the magnitude of playing in Thessaloniki for probably the greatest team in the history, or one of the greatest teams at least in the history of Greek basketball. Ben Moore, and of course we have Slovenian international, well, excuse my apologies there, but Thomas Dimcha now coming out to the lineup. Well, Thomas Dimcha, another one of the veterans of this team. Lithuanian international. My corrections on that. My apologies, basketball fans. Both coaches now shaking hands with each other. Jaume Panasu now shaking hands with current head coach Pantelis Butskos. We're going to take a look at the starting fives of both teams. We will begin with the visitors very shortly, and I would imagine, especially with the way that Justin Jaworski has been playing for this team, I mean, no doubt he's going to be the go-to scoring option for Surne Bilbao. While Duran Hilliard will be in the starting lineup along with Luka Petrusek, the big man from Iceland, along with point guard Howard Fry, who is of Norway, and Margiris Normantis. Well, Normantis Margiris makes, my apologies, that does leave Martin Krempel and Jaworski actually coming off the bench tonight. Well, Jaume Ponsata now, of course, has been with his team for a very long time. He's a great coach. He's worked fabulously in the Spanish ACB, but it's about leading them to back-to-back championships. Otherwise, for PAOK, well, it'll be Breen Tyree with Cleveland Melvin as the natural power forward. Nikos Pasidis will start tonight. Primary point guard will be Patrick Beverley and Ben Moore, so quite a small lineup here, not a natural center here for the mighty PAOK. It makes you wonder, Pantelis Butskos, with this small lineup, is he going to be wanting to run a lot quicker? I mean, you know, they had the first leg against UCAM Murcia that actually went in their favor, narrowly just coming up with a victory in the second leg based on aggregate. Because remember, both games, whatever you achieve in game one is going to come into fruition in game two. So it's so imperative when you have the home court advantage, you've got to take advantage of it. Adonis Koniaris just signing with PAOK this season. Because last season it was about Frank Bodley, Dimitris Katsiavelis, a very talented team who I would say brought back the belief to the Palataki. Because one of the greatest seasons they probably had in the BCL was back in 2021-22, but falling short in the play-ins against Jadia Dijon. Following season, they went to the play-ins only to lose to Margiris Normantis, who's playing tonight for Surne Bilbao. And that was in the play-ins against Rytas Vilnius. Last season in the first leg, it was held in Bilbao. Katsiavelis got one final bucket that cut it down from 9 to 7. And while Katsiavelis got a big bucket in the fourth quarter in the second leg, that gave PAOK the advantage on the aggregate head-to-head. It was Surne Bilbao that would hold on and celebrate the FIBA Europe Cup Championship in this arena. Well, as you can see, not a single empty seat tonight here in the building. We're probably going to see quite a lot of former PAOK legends. We already saw Bane Prelevich in the house. Well, PAOK legends left, right, and center. Breen Tyree just entering the floor, shaking hands with the officials. Remember, PAOK have got to get off to a good start tonight. It's different this season because now they have the first leg at home here at the Palataki. But whatever they achieve this evening, they've got to take it on the road. Well, they did it already before against UCAM Murcia. Well, there was a magnificent piece written by FIBA Europe Cup on their website about Breen Tyree ready to deliver in the finals. The title would mean everything to PAOK. Just a mid-season edition, averaging 17.4 points per game in this competition. And like I said, it seems so dramatic that both teams meet yet again here in the FIBA Europe Cup final. Well, we thank everybody. The moment of silence for the late passing of the great Oscar Schmidt, not only one of the greatest players in the history of Brazilian basketball, but also FIBA international basketball. Our thoughts and prayers go to the Oscar Schmidt and his family. Because now it's time here for the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. Pat Beverley back home right when it started in Greece before his NBA career. Well, get ready. The tip-off may be a little bit delayed, and if you don't know what's coming, well, you're about to find out. Maybe not this time. Oh no. There you go. Welcome to the Palataki. Of course, a pre-game ritual you find a lot here in Greek basketball, but listen to these fans. Listen to the atmosphere from the mighty DK Phalos Aetos Tomora. Now the officials will just take their time to kind of get rid of the fallen debris. I'm quite surprised, not as big as it was last season, but hey, maybe the PAOK fans are superstitious. Maybe they want to make sure that everything goes right here in the first leg. Third meeting between these two teams this season in the FIBA Europe Cup. Last time they met here at home, well, PAOK met Surne Bilbao at home, was in the round of 16, a narrow 1-point defeat. Fans, if you've been following the FIBA Europe Cup for a while, make sure you follow FIBA Europe Cup on social media, on X and Instagram, to get all the best news, highlights, and content that matter to you most. And while you're at it, go to the FIBA Europe Cup website, because a lot of great articles have been written recently on the build-up to this final. There's a magnificent social media team and great journalist group that we have at the FIBA Europe Cup. So, while we just take our time to remove the debris from the court. We had a busy last summer, particularly Linus, and most recently, actually, in the second window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. He helped Iceland defeat Lithuania, but here we go. Welcome to the Palataki. We're back underway. There's one thing you can guarantee: these fans are not going to stop all night long. Breen Tyree trying to get something going. Well, good hands by Margiris Nomantis. Goes out of bounds. I think that's going to remain PAOK ball on the sideline. 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock here for PAOK. Just gonna have to go quickly here. Pat Beverly doesn't have a lot of time as he bumps. Goes in for a teardrop, can't get it. Well, they try to go inside Pat Beverly just with a little floater, but that went a little too short. Because one thing we saw from Surne Bilbao last season in the final was the consistency from the three-point line, as now they go to a dribble handoff. Margiris Nomantis just missing from the mid-range. Well, Margiris Nomantis actually played for Lithuania with his teammate Surne Bilbao, beat him. Well, here we go, turning it over. Bilbao trying to make a counterattack. They go and missing for point-blank range. Well, that's good transition recovery defense by Pat Beverly. Darren Hilliard, formerly of Karşıyaka in Turkey. That time you can see Green Tyree just a little too casual. I didn't see with any points here in the first minute. Kind of feel that if PAOK do get a bucket the first, the arena is going to set off. Beverly. It's a poor pass now resulting into another turnover here for PAOK. Maybe the nerves, the anxiety. Of course, these two teams, they've met each other 5 times since the final last season. Well, since playing in that final. Hilliard kicks out. They'll go for a quick 3 in the corner. It's going to be very tough to keep him off the offensive rebound as Margiris Nomantis from downtown, and that is what he does best. Whether it was for Rytas Vilnius in the BCL or if it's now here for Surne Bilbao in the FIBA Europe Cup, you cannot leave him wide open. Cleveland Melvin trying to find Pat Beverly. Howard Fry getting very close. Beverly, a lot of contacts. I think he'll go to the free throw line. Well, there's the open three-pointer. Like I say, that just cannot happen tonight, but this is good for Surne Bilbao. The PAOK are going to overcommit themselves. Surne Bilbao again. Well, no free throws coming up here for Pat Beverly. Green Tyree just keeps his balance here off the screen. Now it goes baseline. Well, they'll go for a 3 from Pacitas. Again, no offensive rebounding coming here. PAOK wanted to go with the smaller lineup with Ben Moore as the 4-stretch 5. Well, they're going to close out the 3 this time. That's a good look again for Darren Hilliard. That's usually what he likes to go for, but Cleveland Melvin just trying to find some separation, and nobody going in for an offensive board. Almost 3 minutes played here in the first quarter. PAOK yet to record any points in the moments. But now Fry will try another 3. Well, PAOK up numbers. Beverly tries to get it ahead. Well, they'll go for another 3. It's contested. This time they get the offensive rebound. They get rejected. Well, I just said no in mi casa. Now Beverly, he'll fire this one and gets the first field goal for the mighty PAOK. And the Palataki, well, the roof nearly set off here. The Palataki, the PAOK Sports Arena. Just listen to this atmosphere tonight. Darren Hilliard, they go under the screen. And an offensive foul, a moving screen is going to be called against the big man from Iceland, Surne Bilbao. Pat Beverly was built for Greek basketball. Yatris. Sometimes it can be a headache here for PAOK to decide who's the primary point guard. Pacitas. That's already a 4th turnover here for PAOK. Surne Bilbao now Jaworski coming into the lineup. A little bit of pick and pop action here with Jaworski. Melvin Pansa, Swedish international, was a big part of that FIBA Europe Cup campaign. So 5 seconds remain on the shot clock. Good defense from Pat Beverly. Bilbao got to go quickly. Well, they want to go baseline. Good entry. Jaworski tried a quick give and go with Melvin Pansa, but That's the thing about Pat Beverly. He reads the defense so well. And he understands the international game. Because this is where his career started prior to going to the NBA. Oh, they get a wide open uncontested three. Rebound secured. Pat Beverly doing everything at the moment here for PAOK. So they want to play this high bull screen scenario. Beverly matched up here defensively by Alex Funts. Beverly, little pump fake, nowhere to go. Time winding down here for PAOK. Tyree's got to go quickly. He'll go from no man's land from downtown. But again, PAOK just unable to fight for any offensive boards at the moment. 15 wins in a row for Surne Bilbao coming into this final. There's probably a lot of nice little give and go play, nice little twist and turn. And a foul is going to be called. So Basala Bagayoko will go to the free throw line. That's better basketball though coming from Surne Bilbao. Patiently just working that ball screen with Bagayoko. Well, Bagayoko, only 20 years of age. Just started with Fuenlabrada. But he was a part of the FIBA Europe Cup Championship team last season, originally from Bamako, Mali. Well, Surne Bilbao know full well that you got to minimize. I mean, if they can take the lead into this first leg going home, that's going to be a huge plus for them. Well, down the middle, a lot of contact goes in and unable to finish. And PAOK, in almost 5 minutes, exactly now, only one field goal from the perimeter. Pansah goes quickly. There's Jaworski. Jaworski goes in. Both teams struggling immensely. There's a bump in the lane again. And again, that's another unforced turnover. That's good defense from Surne Bilbao. Currently making life difficult for PAOK here in their own home, but I'd say both teams, they've got to find a grip on this game. Melvin Pansah goes to his right, now pulls up. Good chase defense from Pat Beverly. So far with the 3 points, and that's a foul going to be called. That's going to be the third team foul against Surne Bilbao here in the first quarter. Looks like it's going to be on Melvin Pansah. The area that's definitely hurting PAOK at the moment. It's actually 4 turnovers. I said 5, so I stand corrected already. 4:25 to go so far here in the first quarter. They're finding Pasidis. That's a nice little kick out. There's actually Thomas Dempsey. Another 3 goes flying. This time the offensive rebound grab. Beverly. He'll try another one. He'll bury this one from downtown. And just listen to the Dikephalos Aetos Tovora. Well, there's a little take by Pansah. Goes in. Finds Bagayoko. Nearly turns it over. I think a foul has been called indeed. Well, Ben Moore just discussing with our referee, but let's have a look here. There's a 3-pointer. Yatris, one more time for Pat Beverly. Well, they got to try to make something here. Well, there's no foul called, actually. It's a baseline possession coming up. Bilbao will get this one. Got to find some rhythm. They don't want PAOK to build the momentum. Pansah pulls up again inside the key. And again misses. What's the chase defense coming from PAOK that's causing a lot of problems here? Beverly working the screen. Now trying to find options. So got to get something here. Final seconds winding down. Dimsha's wide open. Dimsha's got to take it. Pump fakes. Goes for another one. That's a good look. It was on target. They got it off in time, and now here comes Bilbao. Bilbao just trying to run again. Gets rejected. Well, after speed the move. As they say in Greek, Efkaristo. Goodbye. Not in my house. What a block from Clifford Omurui. And that's the kind of block you got to set the tempo here at home. Another one of the new additions mid-season here for the mighty PAOK. Well, this game only starting to cook up here at the moment. Remember, both teams, I'd say definitely Surne Bilbao's had the most successful campaign this season, but don't take anything away from them. The lead is very little. Dimsha, he'll try another three in the corner, and no problem this time as he sinks a third three-pointer for PAOK. Dimsha coming off the bench wasn't a bad option after all. Lead has been extended so far, but it's all been from downtown at the moment for PAOK. Can Surne Bilbao get Jaworski into the game? Finds a bit of space, and that is what he does best. He might be one of the greatest, if not the best, here in the FIBA Europe Cup at finding that separation for his own three-point shot. Well, PAOK want to go for another one. Guess it can't be a free-for-all, but this is good for Bilbao. Jaworski picked up by Koniaris. And Omurui just making the inside presence. A solid rim protector here at the moment. As Timmy Allen just checking into the game. Koniaris gets that high screen, now denies it. Oh, good hands on. It's going to be a kickball violation. So reset of the 14 on the shot clock here for PAOK. That was a three-pointer by Justin Jaworski, former Lafayette player. There was Thomas Dimsha. Well, we got two great Lithuanian three-point shooters tonight. We got Dimsha for PAOK. We got Margiris Nomatis for Surne Bilbao. Time is winding down here on the shot clock. Breen Tyree tries to pull up from the mid-range. A little high arc and sinks this one, extending it to a two-possession lead. 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Kind of feel the game maybe picking up its energy here. The 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. Trying to find Tryggvi Hlynasson, and the big snowman from Iceland throws it down with two hands. Well, he's known as Mr. Double-Double when he plays for the national team. They're going to need that tonight here in the FIBA Europe Cup final. Timmy Allen. That's good defense by Martin Krempel, the Slovenian international. Well, when in doubt, throw it high in the sky. Of course, interesting story about Tryggvi Hlynasson. He used to ride his snowmobile 4 miles to basketball practice growing up. And there's the alley-oop at Kalinikta. Well, Clifford Omurui just said, welcome to the FIBA Europe Cup final. Welcome to the Palataki. Well, you knew that was going to be one outcome, inevitable, when the ball was thrown up high. Surne Bilbao trying to respond. Omurui just preventing the offensive rebound. I think a foul is going to be called here, maybe. Did Hilliard get knocked here? Here it is. One more time. Good night, Kalinikta from the Palataki. Well, this is Koniaris. Adoni fighting Omurui. But the foul has been called, so free throws coming up for Surne Bilbao. that is the end of the first quarter. Of course, it's been a bit of a slow start from both teams at the beginning. But so far, the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup, indeed, now taking a bit of flavor. Because PAOK at the moment, they have been much better from the three-point line. But the question is, 4 out of 10, can they shoot like this for the rest of the game? Well, Surne Bilbao at the moment, only 2 players leading scorers. Coach Triggley Henderson with 2 field goals, but both Justin Jaworski and Margiris Nomantis, both with 3-pointers each. That's the rebounds. PAOK at the moment have given away 3 offensive boards in total. I mean, that's not too bad, but considering they have the same, that's something Surne Bilbao should take care of. Well, the key thing here is Surne Bilbao have got to stop turning the ball over. Because when you play on the road here in the PAOK, anytime you turn it over, or PAOK come up with it still, you know they're going to go quickly in transition. Now, they don't have any transition points at the moment, but that could change as this game progresses. Well, we should take a look at the highlights. Best moments from the first quarter very, very soon. Like I said, Surne Bilbao, after losing the opening game this regular season on their title defense campaign, they've won 15 in a row. They've been magnificent. PAOK have had their ups and downs. They started the season quite well. But then they went through a bit of a rocky period, not only in the FIBA Europe Cup, but also in the domestic Greek basketball league. I think one thing that's undeniable, anytime the mighty DK Phalos Aietos Tovoda, the double-headed Eagle of the North, are at home here at PAOK, these 10,000 fans, they just give you a little bit extra inspiration. Well, Luke Petrusek will come back into the lineup here. I mean, what a first quarter we've had from Clifford Omarui. I mean, he's been doing it on both ends of the floor. Welcome back, everybody. Live here in the city of Thessaloniki in the north of Greece at the PAOK Sports Arena, the PAOK. Second quarter of the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. Harold Fry looking for that give and go. Pulls it up from 15. Just cannot get it. Omarui, well, that's going to be an out-of-bounds violation. So it should actually be a fresh 14 for Surne Bilbao. I like that sequence. That's what Harold Fry gives you. A quick give and go and pulls up into a mid-range, and eventually those are going to drop. Darren Hilliard, left wide open, uncontested. Cannot connect as now Pat Beverly comes up with a rebound. Beverly back to Omarui. A little bit out of control, and he draws a foul. So now he'll go to the free throw line. Well, Bev is just trying to get the bigs involved. Clifford Omarui, originally from Benin City in Nigeria, went to Rutgers University, but finished at the University of Alabama. Started his pro career in the Israeli Winter League. Now, last season actually played at the beginning of the season. Started in Turkey with the mighty Galatasaray. It didn't take long for the young 24-year-old to find his way here to the north of Greece. 6-point lead currently here to the mighty PAOK. PAOK trying to switch everything on the dribble handoff. Darun Hilliard tries to force his way inside the key, and what a tough finish. Under intense pressure, Hilliard just finds the bottom of the net. Tyree still has it. Goes for another 3 points. A little way too short. Ball just staying in his hands for the entire offense. Surne Bilbao can try to level things up. Everything a high screen. Now Harold Fry goes for it, takes it. Just hasn't found that rhythm yet. But that could change, especially a player of his caliber. Well, this should be a mismatch here for Timothy Allen. There's a kick out. Dimsha pump fakes. Finds Allen in the corner. He'll fire one up. This one's up, and again, sinks it. And make that now the 5th three-pointer for PAOK. 15 of the 21 have come from downtown. Now Margiris Nomantis tries to kick this one out to Harold Fry. He tries a little give and go, a little acceleration now. Not sure what's happened here. If it's a foul on the ground or nice kick out by Thomas DeWalt. Is that a 3 or a 2? I don't think they care right now. They just like to know that it's gone in the net. So that's the first team foul against PAOK. Almost 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Petrusek just finding the handoff to Hilliard. Roy just plays cat and mouse between them. It's a big difference he makes. Well, Beverly pump fakes. It's a little floater, and again, a very big and a tough finish by Pat Beverly. PAOK lead by 8. Remember, whatever the game finishes tonight, that's what they'll take into the second leg next week in Bilbao. Margiris Mantis unable to finish. PAOK want to run. The foul is going to be called on the ground. That's going to be the second team foul against Surne Bilbao. That one's on Harold Frey. I mean, look at this. This is vintage. Pat Beverly. Go back to the days when he started his pro career here in Greece. It's an interesting story about Pat Beverly when he played for the Houston Rockets. He had a teammate called Kyle Wiltshire who signed for the same team that Pat Beverly played for in Greece. And Wiltshire asked him about the club. And Pat Beverly said to Kyle Wiltshire, "You don't sign with them today. You go to Greece and you signed with them yesterday." That's how much Beverly loved playing here in the Greek Basketball League. Beverly goes to his right. Well, has time and space for a 3. Contested, they recover. And it goes in. It's Pat Beverly's world. We are just living in it. 11-point lead to PAOK. Surne Bilbao have got to find some cool, calm composure in their offense. Still very early. A lot of basketball to play. Jaworski now pulls up for 15. And there is the man that's got to get going. He's now got 5 points. One of the purest shooters in European basketball. Allen wants an ISO. Looks for a tough fadeaway. Omeroy trying to go for the tip-in. Petrusek comes up with a rebound. That's good defense from Surne Bilbao. Now they try to minimize the deficit. Oh, Hilliard makes contact. Intelligent play off that ball screen, getting Allen on his back. So now he'll go to the charity stripe. It's Melvin Pansa, my apologies, the Swedish international, but that's what he does. He calmly just waits for Timmy Allen to initiate the contact. So Pansa, this has been a fantastic ambassador for the Swedish national team. Unfortunately, just missing the first free throw. Well, from Stockholm, Sweden, now in his second time playing with Surne Bilbao. Had a brief stint with Rudi Kaha. Started his pro career with Real Madrid back in 2018. 26 years of age. Not even in the prime of his career. 8-point lead still to PAOK. Good help side defense by Linus. A good steal by Hilliard. And now Bilbao can push this one. A nice little Euro step action. I think a timeout is going to be called by PAOK. This is an optimistic FIBA run from Surne Bilbao. Well, good hands by Hilliard. They try to kick out to Timmy Allen. Hilliard just went right at him with a little bump and a Euro step action. Well, we're going to return from this timeout in just under 1 minute. This is the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. Live here in Thessaloniki, Greece at the PAOK. Well, fans, while it's a timeout, enjoy the atmosphere. But again, make sure you follow FIBA Europe Cup on X and Instagram to get all the best news, highlights, and content that matter to you most. And subscribe to FIBA's international YouTube platform while you're watching the stream. And please give us a like. International basketball getting better and bigger every year. Yes, I think the addition of Clifford Omoruyi really has propelled PAOK to where they are, getting back to the final, because that is the position. Now, they did have Marvin Jones at the beginning of the season, of course, has departed the club since. Omoruyi, I just feel he's the kind of player that they definitely missed in the final last season. I mean, they had some great players, but the presence of Trigley Linison, I mean, he's probably one of the toughest centers to defend, whether it's when he's playing for Iceland or for Surne Bilbao. Because they have Masala Bagayoko, the young man from Mali, into the lineup. Beverly, a lot of contact goes in, and Beverly just cannot stop scoring. Well, it's a final. He's feeling it. And PAOK might want to think about going to him every play. Cleveland Melvin just switching on the screen. Petrosek now in the paint. Defended by Beverly. Oh, good hand. Oh, that's interesting. And I think that's completely accidental for Moncrimpelli, but unfortunately, the shoe does make contact. Now, let me tell you about Moncrimpelli. He is not the kind of player to do that. I've seen him play for many years. Well, they have upgraded it. It's understandable. But that was by no means a deliberate act whatsoever. Well, we'll get a better look at it now, but I don't think he's done that on purpose. I think the leg is elevated naturally, but it's the right call. It's an unsportsmanlike. Well, that's going to be something he's going to reflect on and learn from, but this is good for PAOK because Pat Beverly will go to the free throw line now for 2 shots, and PAOK will retain possession. No need to panic if you're Surne Bilbao. Still plenty of basketball to play in this final. Outstanding performance so far from Pat Beverly. Because any great player you come into a team as big as PAOK, you're always going to face your critics. Now, he's the only player so far this evening in double figures. He's got 13 points. Currently hasn't missed a 3-point shot. He's only missed 1 field goal attempt. And that was early. He's 5 for 6 from the field. Well, he's missed 1 free throw, but it's extending it to a 9-point lead. Well, they're not going to stop, I can tell you that. And there's going to be many PAOKada, as they like to call themselves. They'll be heading to Bilbao next week for the second leg of this final. Beverly now hesitates. Inside the paint, twist, turn. And that foul's going to be called on the ground. That's going to be the 4th and final team foul against Surne Bilbao. Just listen to the atmosphere here at the Palataki. Truly incredible. Can only imagine what it was like when this team, back in its history in the 90s, winning both the FIBA Supporter and Courage Cup. Surne Bilbao, 5:27 left, no more fouls to give. Melvin Cleveland extends it to an 11-point lead. And Surne Bilbao leaving themselves exposed inside the paints. I think Bilbao wanted a cool timeout, but finds Jaworski, finds a bit of space, puts up a deep one. Almost got it. It's a big offensive rebound. Bilbao's got to fight for those if they want to try to stay in this game. And a tough finish. Count it. He'll go to the free throw line. No changes coming in for PAOK. Ben Moore looks like he's going to come back into the lineup as Melvin Pansa will head back to the free throw line. Very smart play. Just doesn't get Clifford Omoruyi off the ground, but what he does, just waits for him to come a little bit closer to initiate the contact. Well, good stuff from him so far. He's been great. I think there's a lot more to come from Pat Beverly tonight. Melvin Pansa will try to cut this down to an 8-point deficit. Surne Bilbao currently 4 out of 6 on the free throw line this evening. For one area that Surne Bilbao are actually winning against PAOK, a second chance opportunity point, 6-5. That is crucial for them. So now they cut it down to an 8-point deficit. Tyree will leave the game. Melvin Pansa moving up to 4 points. Allen just coming off the screen to his right. Kicking out again to Beverly. 10 here on the shot clock for PAOK. Beverly just gets the defense on his back. Goes in for the mid-range. Well, he's cooking. He is simply cooking tonight, Pat Beverly. There's no stopping him. I think he may have called for a substitution there. And why not? He's on fire. Well, there's another alley-oop as Bagayoko connects with it. And muchos gracias. Bilbao fans watching high up in the stands. Live here at the PAOK. Well, Beverly gets around the defense. To throw up a lob pass. Still time here for PAOK. Well, they turn it over. Good anticipation by Melvin Pansa. Well, Hillard takes an extra step, goes in for a reverse layup. Well, foul is going to be called, so another trip to the free throw line here for Bilbao. If they can continue to keep getting to the charity stripe, slowly just chip into the deficit. And you see that from Darren Hilliard. He does well there because he takes a quick first step and he puts the ball out on the ground in time to avoid the traveling bot. But here's the alley-oop to Bagayoko midair. Oh, 2 alley-oops tonight. The kind of atmosphere you want here in the final of the FIBA Europe Cup. No problem from the free throw line. Well, Bane Prelevic, the man on the right, of course, has won a continental championship with the mighty PAOK. Born and raised in Belgrade, Serbia, but was made here in Thessaloniki in black and white. Second free throw missed. PAOK not giving away an offensive rebound. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Still a relatively quiet night here for Breen Tyree. Kicks out to Dimsha. Dimsha makes an extra pass. PAOK running out of time. Allen's got to make something happen here. Bit of separation goes in, and it's an offensive foul. Good defense. Let's have a look here. That's a good call. That's good defense by Jaworski. A clear push-off. This is where Bilbao has got to chip into the deficit. I mean, 7 points. If it was to end like this would be the same ending as it was last season when Bilbao won by 7 at home. After Katsiavelis made that final bucket when they were down 9. But 7 points is not a big margin. PAOK have got to build this lead, but Bilbao want to minimize it. And if any, they'll lead. These kind of atmospheres are the ones you live for in your lifetime in European basketball. PAOK goes to dribble handoff. Well, Peterson wasn't ready for it. PAOK can run, good recovery. And that's one Lithuanian chasing another. Margiris Domantas preventing Thomas Dimsha from getting a wide open look. Sideline possession here to PAOK. Well, Breen Tyree goes quickly, and he avoids the block from Peterson. 7 points for the man averaging 17 since joining PAOK in the FIBA Europe Cup. And I'm impressed he didn't get blocked there by the big 7'3" snowman from Iceland. Nice little separation there from Patsa. A little too short. Omaroi keeping Trigley Henderson away from the second chance points. Can PAOK extend to a double-digit lead? Breen Tyree goes for it. Three is up. And nobody going in for an offensive rebound. PAOK patiently try to build something here with. And there is Jaworski going quickly again to the defense. Henderson comes up with it. A foul is going to be called, so now he'll go to the free throw line. Well, that's what he's in there for. Just try to get as many offensive boards and second chance points as possible. So far, it's been 6 in total tonight here for Bilbao, excuse me. Well, there's the great take again by Breen Tyree. Clifford Omarui will go to the bench. I wonder why we did see already. What I was trying to say was that Pat Beverly had signaled that he wanted to sub earlier, but he hasn't come out of the game yet. Well, coming into his final, Trigley Henderson, 28 out of 40 from the free throw line this season in the FIBA Europe Cup. Well, but that free throw just remains at 70%. Still an 8-point lead to PAOK. Breen Tyree. Just over 2 minutes here in the first half. Little pick and pop action here with Cleveland Melvin. He'll go for a three himself, puts this one up. PAOK have taken a lot of three-pointers so far here in the first half. 6 out of 14 in total from downtown for the mighty PAOK. Monkrempel will fire once. He sixes and now makes it a 2-possession deficit. Slovenian just getting into the action. Neither team with any fouls to give here in the last 1 minute and 36 seconds. Nice pass. Oh, baby! Welcome to the Palataki. Well, when you get on the Greek Metro, it says Epomenestasi, Palataki. And it's Breen Tyree taking us. That is Kali Nikta. Good night. What a big-time dunk by a big-time player. And like Pat Beverly, it's Breen Tyree's world too. We are just living in it. Big-time play by Breen Tyree. Well, a timeout is going to be called by Bilbao. We'll be back in just a moment. Very interesting note, of course, picked up by the FIBA Europe Cup digital team is that PAOK currently 50% from the field so far, 14 out of 28. Well, Bilbao haven't gone above 35% from the field so far this game. I mean, like I said, they're on the back of winning 15 games in a row after losing the opening game of the campaign this season in the regular season. Another note to know is that Breen Tyree, now in the 3 games he's played here against Bilbao, man, it's the third time they've met this season. Fifth time if you include the finals of last season. He's never gone double figures against Bilbao. If he makes this, he'll do that. And he does just that. So big shout out to the FIBA Europe Cup digital team. This has done a lot of great work this season covering this campaign. Margiris Nomad made 1 3. Not going to get this one. Jaworski, he's left wide open. And you cannot leave this man uncontested. 8 points already for Jaworski. Bringing a bit of the NCAA Lafayette years back. Spring Tyree crosses over. Beverly down the middle. Oh, they'll go for another 3 and they'll sink this one. And right now, PAOK making it rain. Well, if that's how they're going to win the final, they're going to keep on shooting. 7 out of 16 from the three-point line for PAOK. Bilbao could go 2 for 1. Innocent bumps. And it's just simply that easy for the big man. Well, there's the bucket. It's going to be roughly 6 seconds difference. Roughly 7 seconds difference between both game and shot clock here. Can Bilbao get one final stop? Tyree crosses over. Now goes to his right. Nice backdoor by Dimsha. And good rejection. Oh no, they're going to call a foul. It was a great baseline backdoor cut from Thomas Dimsha. Let's have a look here. That's the back door. Well, there was no block whatsoever. It's a follow-through. The foul is on Luke Petrashek. Thomas Dimsha now at the free throw line here for PAOK. Dimsha originally from the city of Kaunas in Lithuania, where he started his professional career. Now, he did leave Lithuania back in 2018 to go play for Varese. If he played for Juventus Utena, also played for Gran Canaria and Treviso, but prior to joining PAOK Thessaloniki, was playing in the Spanish ACB for Casademont Zaragoza. It extends it to an 8-point lead, with 7.5 left. A timeout is going to be called by Bilbao. They'll want to talk this over to get one final shot here in the first half of the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. .5 remaining here in the first half. Plenty of time for Bilbao to get one final good look. We got a lot of good three-point shooters. Harold Frey, Margiris Nomantis, Darren Hilliard on the floor. So got to go right up the floor. Well, there it is. Jaworski walks right into it. That's not going to go. Goes out of bounds for 0.5 of a second left here at top. Well, we did see Derek Fisher score 0.4 of a second back in the 2004 NBA playoffs against the San Antonio Spurs, but well, you got to credit the initiative, but 0.5 in your own half. I'd like to call that swishful thinking, but hey, they'll call the timeout. Why not? So we'll return from this timeout in just under 1 minute. Live here in the first half of the Palataki. Now, here's what you don't want to do if you're Bilbao. You don't want to foul. I mean, the likelihood of getting the ball up the floor and getting one final look is, as I said, it's wishful thinking. But PAOK will go for it. Just got to throw this one very, very far. But if you are Bilbao, don't foul. Defensive discipline very much needed on this play. Dimsha thinks about it. Well, he lobs it. There it is. And it counts to nothing. Well, there you have it. The end of the first half, live here. Well, she scored that, but it won't count. End of the first half, live here at the PAOK Sports Arena. The Palataki, the home of the DK Falos Aetos Tovoda. So far, it's PAOK leading by 8 points in the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. It's only the first leg of the first half of the first leg. A second half yet to come. Oh, look at this. Petrushev. I want him on my team. Too bad that doesn't count. We'll take a look at some of the key statistics here from the first half, and then we'll run down the best highlights. Well, there you see PAOK at the moment. 7 out of 16 from the three-point line at 43%. Only 4 from Bilbao at the moment. PAOK at the moment, much better percentage-wise, leading the rebounds as well. But it's Surne Bilbao with 6 steals and 9 turnovers already from PAOK. PAOK leading in the assist category. The team really taking full advantage in transition. Well, there are your stats. We'll take a look at the leading scorers. Pat Beverly having a game of games. Breen Tyree for the first time this season in double figures against Surne Bilbao. But no Bilbao player in double figures. Well, there your leading rebounders. Clifford Omarui currently with 5 boards, and he has done a magnificent job of preventing Trygve Hinason from having any second chance opportunity points. While Pat Beverly currently 7 assists away from a potential double-double. Well, there are your leaders currently in this game. We'll take a look at the highlights, and we'll be back in just over 13 minutes for the second half of the first leg. Welcome back, fans. Live here at the PAOK, the PAOK Sports Arena in Thessaloniki, Greece, for the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. It's a rematch between both teams, Surne Bilbao and the mighty PAOK Thessaloniki, who competed in last season's final. The first time in 11 seasons of the FIBA Europe Cup, we've had back-to-back finals from the same team. PAOK currently have an 8-point lead. Remember, however this game finishes in the first leg, the points difference will come into fruition in the second game, as it is aggregate scoring. Well, the difference has been the three-point shooting. PAOK currently 7 out of 16 from the three-point line, led with 16 points from Pat Beverly and 10 from Breen Tyree. But we'll see how this game progresses. PAOK with the first play of the second half. So going with this three backcourt lineup of Pat Beverly, Breen Tyree, Cleveland Melvin. Breen Tyree goes in, extends it to a 10-point lead. Well, he was settling for a lot of three-pointers early in the first half. He's found a lot more consistency when getting inside the paint. Tyree only 1 out of 5 from the three-point line, but 5 out of 9 from the field. Well, the VIPs just getting to their seats from their halftime meals and beverages. Absolutely outstanding atmosphere here at the PAOK, one of the most historic arenas in European basketball. Listen, oh, again, getting rejected. Well, Dimsha chasing and blocking. Seen quite a few blocks tonight. Dimsha now goes for a three-pointer, unable to connect. We've attempted 17 three-pointers so far in this game. Corinne Hilliard goes quickly at the defense. That time missing. Dimsha coming up with a rebound. Now Pat Beverly wants to run. It's Margiris Omatis quickly committing a foul to prevent a transition bucket here for PAOK. If you go back to the second leg last season's final, it was actually Surne Bilbao that were cooking from downtown. Their three-point shooting was much more consistent, but you can already see the defense from PAOK. They're chasing around screens. I mean, occasionally they'll go under them. Bilbao's only converted 4 three-pointers so far. Breen Tyree a bit out of control, but no problem inside the paint, as now he moves up to 14. 6 out of 10 from the field in total tonight for Breen Tyree. Alfrey goes quickly. He does get the and one, but that could have been a three-point play. But he'll go to the free throw line. Bilbao, 7 out of 11 from the free throw line this evening. Harold Frey hasn't scored so far tonight. He's 0 for 3 from the field, so this is a chance for him to get some points. The man who did play for Telecom Baskets Bonn. This is also a feature for the Norwegian national team, but just hasn't been quite able to get them at the high level of a Eurobasket or a FIBA Basketball World Cup, but that could be something we see in the future. I don't want that. Well, excuse me, Surne Bilbao don't want this lead to get too big. You don't want to go back home having to fight back from a double-digit lead. Well, Melvin Cleveland nearly turned it over. Just saves this one from a backcourt violation. Pump fakes. Has to pull up for a tough three, and that's way off the mark. That's good defense from Surne Bilbao. We know PAOK's offense is going to be a lot of isolation, a lot of open floor basketball. Now Venus goes right into defense. Well, Dim should try to come in for the rebound, but that's going to remain Bilbao ball on the baseline. Well, he's been outstanding tonight, Dimsha. I would say more so on the defensive end for PAOK. Does have 5 points. He's 1 out of 3 from the perimeter. Final seconds winding down. Hilliard's got to make something. Little ghost action from Harold Frey. And there it is. The first three-pointer for the Norwegian. Can he convert a few more tonight as he slices it down to a 7-point deficit? 5 points for Harold Frey. Beverly now twisting. Little teardrop. That time the rebound not secured there from Tringley Henderson. Wasn't a full 24 for PAOK because Beverly still has it. It's got to isolate. That's a tough contest. That's 3 3-pointers missed here in the second half for PAOK. This is where Bilbao has got to keep scoring. Frank goes to his left. Tries to get Beverly on his back. And that's a poor pass in the corner. But you could argue the same. And in that case, Moncrimpelli's got a flash free throw line extended. Give Harold Frey an option. Because he would have been wide open. Well, bit of Balkan love. Nine turnovers in the game for PAOK. PAOK will go for a fourth three-point. They'll just continue to keep lighting it up as they extend it back to a 10-point lead with the 8th three-pointer of the evening. Bilbao's got to realize, limit the three-point shoot from PAOK, and they're going to find it difficult to find other ways to score. Darren Hilliard will fire one, and both teams exchanging three-point field goals. Number 6 for Bilbao. 10 points this evening for Darren Hilliard. Foul is going to be called on the ground against Margiris Nomantis. That's only a second personal foul, but both of them have come here in the third quarter. There's a three-pointer by Hilliard. Signals the bench. And it was Breed Tyree. That's tough. That's a hat in his face. 17 points. He's on his FIBA Euro Cup season average. Now is indeed the game's leading scorer. Tyree. Well, the crash defense wasn't enough in the end, but very well executed by Ben Moore. Without Clifford Omarudi on the bench, he's actually the natural center in this lineup for PAOK. Margiris Nomantis, wide open from 18. Way off the mark. But there's some fights for it. Bilbao get it back. Well, Margiris Nomantis not able to finish that time. Dipshit comes up with the rebound. Bilbao's got to defend astutely here, try to force another turnover. Breed Tyree, he's got 17. That time it goes out of bounds, but that's a good fight, a good effort from Ben Moore. The unfortunate part here for PAOK is Bilbao will get it back, so good for them. Very well organized. Does great to keep this under control, Ben Moore, the former Indiana Pacer. It's quite a good pass actually there from Breed Tyree as well, for that matter. High screen kill, slip screen action coming from Moncrimpelli. Jaworski now again left wide open. That time missing. Just daring him to take the mid-range. Beverly now looking to work here with Ben Moore. Beverly attacks, goes in tough, can't finish him. Moore comes in with a follow-up, and it's back to an 11-point PAOK lead. Every PAOK basket, whether it's inside the rainbow or a three-pointer, just gets this crowd more galvanized. As Hilliard, well, you got to keep going to him as now he moves up to 13. Breed Tyree working around the ball screens. I'll go for another one. Coming up with the 50-50. Dipshit in the corner, fouled. Oh no, it's an out-of-bounds violation. PAOK have now indeed attempted 22 three-point field goals, shooting 36% from the perimeter. Breed Tyree taking the majority. He's attempted 7, only made 2 of them so far, but there was a three-pointer by Darren Hilliard. That's the take by Hilliard, draws a foul, so he'll go back to the free throw line. That foul is on Nikos Posidas. Well, it's Melvin Panto, excuse me. Well, they're in a good position right now. Got to keep their defensive principles. Melvin Panza, 2 out of 3 from the free throw line. Missed one earlier in the first half, and now 3 out of 4. That's quite a Scandinavian backcourt if you put Harold Frey, Melvin Panza. Now he looks to cut it down to a 6-point deficit. Their shooting's been a lot better from Bilbao since the first quarter. PAOK have got to keep building momentum here in the first, or what they built in the first half. Well, again, you can see they just continue to pile on more pressure. And Bree Tyree, he's having fun out there tonight, basketball fans. It's now Bilbao. Backfield played by Peters, but he just stepped out of bounds. It's not the first time it's happened tonight. Hit a PAOK. Just slightly on the baseline there. You can see with the left foot. The PAOK would love the double-digit lead going into Bilbao, but even so, that might not be enough. Knowing how good this Bilbao team is. They are the FIBA Europe Cup defending champions. Out switching every time Hilliard comes off a screen. Dipchin, that time switching again. But Hilliard finds space, puts him another one. That's excellent defending from PAOK. Bilbao want to go to dribble handoffs. They got to attack the basket. PAOK at the moment, not afraid to switch with this lineup. Now Bree Tyree. Oh, another tough contested 3. It's volume 3-point shooting that's given them this lead. But is it enough to get them the FIBA Europe Cup championship? I'll get you pictures. Moment in history for PAOK basketball. 2nd consecutive FIBA Europe Cup final. They don't want it to be second-time runners-up. So PAOK bringing in Yorgos Filios into the lineup. Because Timmy Allen, Clifford Omaroi also in. Jaworski down just down the middle. Well, good hands, avoids the travel and recovers this one. Well, the PAOK fans arguing for travel, but that looked good to me. Dimsha attacks, kicks out, good ball movement. As the bump goes in and is able to finish this one. And that's much better collective, patient basketball from PAOK. That time not settling for a 3-pointer. Getting points in the paint. Now Margiris Nomantis. Foul's been drawn, but he doesn't get down one. That would have been crucial for Surne Bilbao had he connected with that. Well, here's the good recovery defense by Yorgos Filios, but it was the recovery. Look, the reason why that's not a travel is because it was tapped out by the defense. Cleveland Melvin will come back into the lineup for PAOK. Nikos Pasidis will go to the bench. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Margiris Nomantis, and he misses the free throw. Oh, go back to the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup when Lithuania played against Egypt in the Mall of Asia Arena. He was actually the top scorer that night for Lithuania. Quite a regular feature for the Lithuanian national team. Just came up short of qualifying for the Paris Olympics at the FIBA OQT in Puerto Rico in the summer 2024. Bree Tyree. Finding Cliff and Omeroy. Good defense. Bilbao forcing a turnover, down by 7. Knowing that any lead tonight or deficit will go into the second leg. No Mantis. Omeroy. Oh, baby, buenas noches. Finding the big man. The flying Basala Bagayoko midair. Now cutting it down to a 2-possession deficit, and a foul is going to be called. That's going to be Bilbao's 13th foul. Well, it was Nomadis Runway and Bagayoko Airlines from Bamako, Mali. Let's hope to see him in a FIBA Afrobasket one day. And that's going to be a 3rd foul against Margiris Nomadis. So the question is, do you keep him in this final 118, knowing he's got 3 fouls, or do you keep him in? I think they're going to keep him in. Five-point lead still to PAOK. It's been a ball-dominated offense from Green Tyree. It goes for another deep Hail Mary 3. Well, it's just cooling down a little bit here in the 3rd quarter. It's now Surne Bilbao can cut it down to 1 possession ball game. Jaworski can make it 2-point deficit. And that time unable to convert. Green Tyree finding Cleveland Melvin. Allen now keeps us alive. Pump fakes. Goes up for a tough finish by Timmy Allen in the paint. Well, Bagayoko was ready for the block, but Allen just showed the strength. And that could be a 2-for-1 for PAOK. They've got the longest scoring run of 8 points so far. Patsa goes to his right. PAOK switching here with Yorgos Vilios. Final seconds for Jaworski. Nice backdoor play. Got to take this. Bagayoko puts up the 3. It's up. And Bilbao killed with the offensive rebound. Unable to get the second chance points. Got to shoot this one. Oh, they get it off in time, but it won't go as we head into the final 10. PAOK holding on to a 7-point advantage in the first leg of the 2026 FIBA Europe Cup final. Take a look at some of the key stats. There was the backdoor play. Good hands by Timmy Allen. And Bagayoko, well, he thought he was a solid in the paint insurance policy. And those Bilbao fans, not too much for them to be concerned about, because it was 7 points they led by heading into the second leg when they came here to the PAOK last season. I think the big difference you have to look into this game between these two teams. Surne Bilbao have been able to convert 10 points from PAOK turnovers. PAOK have had 10 turnovers in this game, but also Bilbao with 13 second chance opportunity points. We'll be back for the 4th and final quarter very shortly. Well, I don't think you find too many basketball atmospheres like this in the world. I mean, this is Thessaloniki. This is the PAOK, the home of the double-headed Eagle of the North, and it's the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. Rematch of last season, but a very different-looking PAOK team. A lot of familiar faces returning for Surne Bilbao. as now we head into the final 10 minutes. Remember, this game won't dictate who's got the championship, but whatever the outcome is, both teams will take into play when we head for the second leg next week in Bilbao. Under 10 minutes to go here. Jaworski finding that handoff, goes quickly to defense, and a strong finish as he cuts it down to a 2-possession deficit. Allen defended by Margiris Normantis. A traveling violation is going to be called. That's the 11th turnover of the game for PAOK. Not too much of a protest from Timmy Allen, but chance now for Surne Bilbao. Well, actually, I was incorrect. It was the 13th turnover of the game. Think about some of the greats who played for PAOK. Jaworski goes for a ghost action. Backdoor give and go. Wow, cooking already. 4 points here in the fourth quarter. Their leading scorer this season in the FIBA Europe Cup. Oh, it's going to be a turnover. Jaworski, 6 straight points as he lays this one up. And now it's only a 1-point deficit. The FIBA Europe Cup defending champions have cut down that double-digit lead to 1. How many times have we seen these poor passes from PAOK? But this is great for Surne Bilbao. Jaworski right now could be his time to get going. Jaworski so far currently with 16 points. He's their leading scorer, but we'll be back from this timeout in under 1 minute. Well, PAOK's issue has been turnovers. Surne did a magnificent job of converting those turnovers into fast breaks. Green Tyree. Also forces his way in. Gets denied by Tryggvi Linusson. 8 seconds remain on the shot clock for PAOK. It's good defense from Howard Frey. Linusson didn't need to do too much. Pat Beverly will inbound this for PAOK. Dimchuk. Tough pass in, good defense. And now Bilbao can take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Jaworski's got 16 points. Oh, Jaworski, there it is. There's the 3. It's up, but he's unable to finish. And that's probably as wide open a look as Jaworski's going to get this evening. Melvin kicks out Beverly. Fakes the pass. Dimchuk pump fakes. Finds time. Space. 3. Beverly follows in for the offensive rebound. Now Beverly will try again. No problem for Pat Beverly as he extends it back to a 2-possession PAOK lead. That's PAOK's 9 3-pointer of the night. 19 points for Beverly. Foul is going to be called on the ground. And it's on Ben Moore. They still need to be calm. Well, there was a pump fake. Well, the original was a pump fake. Crampelli didn't close out Pat Beverly in time. The double-headed eagle of the North, Dikephalos Aietos Tovora, 100 years celebrating PAOK's basketball existence. It's going to be a kick ball violation. So Surne Bilbao will get an extra second back on the 14. Well, his team has done well to remain in this in single digits. They can still win this. Take the advantage back home with them. Really goes in, a little teardrop. And the drop defense from Ben Moore. But, you know, if he overcommits himself, Trigly-Henderson is going to roll right to the bucket. Bit of a conundrum there defensively for Ben Moore. Dimsha looks to attack. 10 here on the shot clock for PAOK. Pick and pop here, Ben Moore finds some 18. Nothing but net. The same goes for Henderson. Anytime they can bring the big Icelandic away from the key, that's going to be crucial for PAOK here in the final 7 minutes. Ben Moore moves up to 6 points. Jaworski now fighting around the screens. Pulls up inside the paint. Now he's got 18. Big time performance tonight from Jaworski. Oh, JJ keeping his team in the game in the final. The foul is going to be called against Trigly-Henderson. Well, he looks unconvinced at the moment. He knows they've got to go home. A game in which PAOK lost. I mean, look at this, Jaworski. This guy doesn't stop moving. What makes him such a great player? He always takes the high percentage looks. Still a 2-point PAOK lead. Harold Frey trying to keep Breen Tyree with it. Jaworski finds Beverly. Pump fakes, goes for another 3, a lot of contact, but again, Beverly sinks it, and now has 22. He lives for these moments. He knows European basketball. He knows the Greek fans. I don't know if this is a foul away from the ball, but there's the split of the ball screen from Breen Tyree. The extra pass made by Thomas Dimsha. Beverly simple pump fake. And I'll say it again. It's Pat Bev's world. We just happen to be living in it in the FIBA Europe Cup final. That's going to be a traveling violation. Well, they had to call it that time. He's done so well to avoid that because he always puts the ball on the ground. And now just listen to the Palataki. Listen to the mighty PAOK fans. Watch here. She changed his spinning foot, I think. There he does, yeah. Unfortunate turnover there for Surne Bilbao. Breen Tyree. Trying to find Ben Moore. Keeps us alive. Thought Beverly was wide open in the corner. But instead, the VIP fans are wide open. Still over 6 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Well, he does magnificently to keep it under control, but that time he's got to be aware Beverly wasn't in the corner. Hilliard down the middle. A sweet little scoop hook. Kept that in his weaker right hand. I say weaker. He's ambidextrous. Very efficient tonight from Duran Hilliard. Cleveland Melvin, pump fakes. This is a tough fadeaway. This time not going in. Well, Surne Bilbao can cut it down to 1 point. They can tie things up with a 3-pointer. Melvin Cleveland now. It's going to be a foul away from the ball, I believe. It's going to be a PAOK third team foul. Sense a little bit of anxiety from the DK Fale. These loyal basketball fans. They've gone through the highs and the lows in their history of 100 years. Those stories from the grandparents. Jaworski goes in now, indeed cuts it down to a 1-point deficit. JJ's got 8 here in the fourth quarter. He's having a game of games. 20 points tonight for Justin Jaworski. Tyree finds Pat Beverly. Backdoor from Cleveland Melvin. Ben Moore. No foul given, but that's going to remain PAOK ball with 5 seconds on the shot clock. What was the foul given? I don't think so, no. Let's have a look here. There's the backdoor play. There's a dish off. It comes from the side of him, but well, Crampelli definitely gets the ball, but does he follow through enough that you can't go for it unsportsmanlike if no foul's been given? Tough one. W's got to get it inbound. Final seconds. PAOK put up another three. This team just continues to live and die from the three-point line. Yatriz Paracalo. And the threes keep coming more and more. And this time it's from Ben Moore. Jaworski's got 20 points. And he cuts it back down to 1 again. 23 for Justin Jaworski. Él está cocinando en la cocina. He's putting on some Bilbao pinchos right now. Timeout called by PAOK. It was a tough three by Ben Moore. And that's with 7'3", Trifley Hlinus' hand in his face. We'll be back in this timeout in under 1 minute. Well, as they say in Bilbao, they call this Irukua, three-pointer in Basque. The Basque country want to remain back-to-back FIBA Youth Cup champions. And Justin Jaworski could very well be leading them to that. Outstanding performance from him this evening. And a big-time fourth quarter for him. Still just narrowly holding on to 1 point lead. But the only thing that's kept them in front for the entirety of this game has been their three-point shooting. 39%, 11 out of 28. But Bilbao's been very good as well. They're 8 out of 24. 3 of them have come from Justin Jaworski. They're just trying to decide now if that three-pointer from Ben Moore was a three. Was his foot on the line? I think it looks good from there, but let's have a closer look. Well, 2 referees, the 2 Martins, Martin Kozlauskas and Martin Harazov, 2 very good, great FIBA officials. Just had to double check, and their three-pointer stays, which means it remains a 1 point lead to the DK Fale, the mighty PAOK. Pat Beverly caught a double team. Trying to find Thomas Dimsha. Ben Moore kicks out to Beverly. Beverly attacks. Puts him a tough floater. That's incredible. Pat Beverly rolling back the years tonight. 24 points, 9 out of 12 from the field. Extending it back to a 3-point PAOK lead. Bit of ghost action from Darren Hilliard. PAOK switching on everything. That's 24 points, excuse me. And we can level things up. While PAOK give away an offensive rebound. Bilbao get another crack at it. Really wants to attack. Tries to go right at Ben Moore. Steps through, can't get it, goes out of bounds. And that's going to go back to Bilbao, but I think PAOK will go for a head coach's challenge. Well, young coaches watching this game, that's why you always save your head coach's challenge for big moments. So our officials now will have to go to the monitor. It's not really a choice to find out, does this remain Bilbao ball? Or will it be overturned? We'll find out very soon. So Mr. Kovzlauskas and Mr. Harazov now we'll have to go to the monitor to find out. The players will go to the benches. Well, from that angle, it may look like this could get overturned, but we get a chance to look at another angle. Can it tell us something different? That was the take by Hilliard. I think that comes off a trip with Henderson. I think the reaction from the double-headed Eagle fans, the mighty PAOK fans, tells you everything. Well, we're going to find out now what decision is going to be made. Wait for it. There you have it. Not quite the reaction I thought it was going to happen from the PAOK fans, but 3:31 to go here in the fourth quarter. Now remember, under 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Any decision gets made like that, the referees can actually go for an official review. Listen to these fans. Truly remarkable scenes tonight here at the Palataki. That's going to be a second team foul against Bilbao. Still 2 fouls to give. PAOK have 1 foul to give. A lot of physicality between Jaworski and Pat Beverly. But now they go back to Breen Tyree with under 10 hit. Tyree switches, makes a dish off, reverse layup, and extends it to a 5-point lead as Ben Moore patiently waits inside the key. And that was a beautiful play by Breen Tyree as he architect the penetration. Listen to the PAOK fans. There's the slice of the defense. Henderson overcommits. A simple dump down to Ben Moore. We'll be back from this timeout in under 1 minute. The 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. First leg live here in Thessaloniki, Greece. I mean, if you ever travel to Greece, there's so many great places you can go to. Athens, but also come to Thessaloniki. They said the great Thessaloniki derby in which PAOK most recently were actually victorious. Oh, they won 2 games this season, proving to be the greatest team in Thessaloniki this season. Some of the greats have even played for this team. The great Peja Stojakovic, NBA champion in 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks. 2002 NBA three-point champion. And he was a young kid when he played with Bobby Kralovic. He's at the game tonight. Well, good defense by Pat Beverly. PAOK of numbers. They'll go for it. No, they're going to go for a quick three. Bilbao's got to hang tight. PAOK also need to build the lead. Second leg will be next week. In Bilbao, Bree Tyree. Dimsha fights for it. Jaworski saves it. And that's going to be a fourth and final team foul against PAOK with 2:46. The foul's going to be called against Cleveland Melvin. So any more fouls, Bilbao will go to the free throw line. Because fans, as we head into this final few minutes, make sure you follow FIBA Europe Cup on X and Instagram. Well, they want to find Linesen. Now we're in the 10. Hilliard goes to the bucket. And it just rattles its way in. Terrific game tonight for Darun Hilliard. Because he has been outstanding this evening. 19 points for Hilliard. Still a one possession lead here for PAOK. Bree Tyree just trying to find some separation. Ben Moore able to catch the pass. Finds Dimsha, closed out a deep three. That's good defense. Final 2 minutes. Can they finally tie it up with a three-pointer? Jaworski left wide open. Quick catch and shoot inside the key. He's gotten a little bit colder in his last two shots. Still, it's not a bad margin to be trailing, though, going in. What, still only 3 points now. That's going to be a third team foul against Bilbao. Third one with 1:41. Hado Frey will come back in the lineup here for Bilbao. Because like I said, if you watch the final last season between these two teams, it was a 9-point Bilbao lead until Dimitris Gatsivelis made that final bucket. Cut it down to 7. But it wasn't enough for PAOK. Bree Tyree tries to force his way in, out of control. Again, good defense. Now we're in the 90 seconds. Bilbao could level things up. Pansa, there's the three. It's up. They just can't do it. Well, they've trailed by as many as 12 in this game tonight, Bilbao. But they haven't been able to level things up. They haven't had the lead since the opening minutes of the first quarter. As PAOK again look to extend the lead. Beverly defended by Krampel. Well, Beverly's got 22. And Dimsha goes in for the follow-up. 5-point PAOK lead with under a minute to go. Looks like a timeout is going to be called by Bilbao. Pame Paukada. That's your undersized power forward going up against 7'3" Trifley Linesen. That should have been his rebound. The mighty DK Fowler Santos Tovoda. Oh, no timeout scored, excuse me. Under a minute to go. Bilbao could go 2 for 1. 2 for 1 that could probably get them on level playing field. Maybe take the lead. Who knows? Need something here. PAOK don't have any fouls to give. Jaworski goes for a deep one. It's up. That's an offensive rebound here for Bilbao. A big one. Frey kicks out. They'll go for another three by Pansa. They still can't get it. Another offensive rebound. Anything to minimize the deficit going into the second leg. PAOK will switch every screen. A bit of slip screen action coming. Frey kicks out. Jaworski puts up a deep one. And another offensive rebound. Frey thinks about it. Kicks out again. Jaworski penetrates. Little floater. Still can't get it. They caught a foul. So this is good for Bilbao. They can minimize it to a one-possession deficit. Even with 9.5, he makes both free throws. PAOK can still get one final bucket. Remember, whatever the deficit at the end of this game is, that's how we'll start things next week in the second leg. That foul's going to be called against Ben Moore. That's unfortunately his 5th foul. But that doesn't play a factor in the second leg. Surne Bilbao have made 12 free throws out of 17 so far this evening. Jaworski, 10 out of 22 from the field, but this is his first trip to the free throw line tonight. Best he can do at the moment, cut it down to a 3-point deficit. Averaging 15.4 points per game. And he's only missed 3 free throws this season in the FIBA Europe Cup. He missed one in the first leg against Falco Sambatai. He also missed one against Prievidza in the round of 16. The only time he missed one was in the regular season against Paris 3, but a timeout's going to be called. We'll be back from this timeout in just under 1 minute. Well, solid game tonight from that man, Thomas Dimsha. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He also does have currently 4 fouls, so I think that's going to be too much of a concern at this point because regardless, Jaworski most likely is going to make both these free throws, cut it down to a 3-point deficit. PAOK will get one final play. They're not going to have the same advantage Bilbao had at the end of the first leg last season in the finals. But an advantage is an advantage nonetheless. Oh, Jaworski missed it. The pressure just getting to him. Well, every great player goes through it at some point. That's his 4th missed free throw this season in the FIBA Europe Cup. He still cut it down to a 4-point deficit. No problem. So one final play coming up for PAOK. Hey, Prasini. This is the land of Mavro and Aspro, as they would say in Greece. And you can see Jaworski, he knows. 4 points, not a big deficit, but 3 is better than 4. Green Tyree will get one final play. Crosses over, pulls up, and extends it to a 6-point PAOK lead. Hey, PAOK. Could the DK Fale, the DK Falos Aedos Tovora, finally win a European championship since both the FIBA Supporter and Courage Cup of the 90s, when Bane Prelevic, Kenneth Barlow, the greats of PAOK basketball, lifted for these fans. But Bilbao will get one final play with 2.2. Well, PAOK need to defend one final play. Bilbao want to cut this down to maybe a 1 or 2 possession lead, depending what they go for. Anything to minimize the aggregate going into the second leg. Alfredo inbounded. PAOK will switch everything. They find Jaworski. Doesn't get it. And there you have it. The end of the first leg. Palme, Dikefalos, Ayentos Tobora. But it's not over. They'll meet again next week in the Basque Country in the beautiful city of Bilbao, infamous for baloncesto as well as pinchos. It's the 11th final of the FIBA Europe Cup. And very similar to last season, it was PAOK who trailed by 7 points after the first leg. And although they won the second leg by 2, it was the first time in history in the FIBA Europe Cup in which a team from the Spanish ACB had lifted the championship. PAOK know they've got to go on the road. 6 points isn't a big margin to defend, but they've done it already against UCAM Murcia. Well, you can join us next week live here on FIBA's official YouTube platform for the second leg of the 11th final of the 2026 FIBA Europe Cup. A great game tonight. Huge performance from Justin Jaworski with 24 points, 19 from Darun Hilliard, but it was a 3-point shooting from PAOK. PAOK knocking down an impressive 11 out of 31, led by Pat Beverly with 24 points. That finished with 7 rebounds and 4 assists, and also 21 from the mid-signing superstar, Breen Tyree. Well, the old cliche, the party is just getting started. The question is, when we head to Bilbao next week, who's going to party harder? Will it be PAOK or will it be Surne Bilbao? Bilbao leading that second half, winning the second half by a narrow 2 points, but like I said, 6 points, not a lot to try and come back from. Both teams will be very eager to lift the 11th championship of the FIBA Europe Cup as Pat Beverly just has a few words with the second leading scorer, Breen Tyree. Well, the atmosphere has been terrific tonight. The Dikefalos Ayentos Tobora, the double-headed eagle of the north. For sure, they have made this, like they did last season, an incredible atmosphere. And a big shout out to the Bilbao fans who made the journey from the Basque Country all the way here to the beautiful North Sea of the northern city of Thessaloniki. Incredible scenes here at the Palataki, the arena that opened back in 2000. They could have lifted the championship here last season, only for Bilbao to break their hearts, but there are your final stats. PAOK shooting 66% from inside the rainbow, 35% from downtown. Bilbao not bad themselves, 8 out of 29, but it wasn't enough. And even though coming up with 9 steals, they weren't able to convert too many into transition points. PAOK winning the rebound count as well as the assist, but only 5 fast break points to Surne Bilbao, and a free throw coming for PAOK. PAOK finishing with 3 blocks. Because both Justin Jaworski and Pat Beverly finishing joint leading scorers, a combined total of 48, 24 apiece. PAOK having 3 players in double figures. Trigly Henderson goes 7 points, 9 rebounds. Ben Moore finishing with 8 assists. Because he was 2 assists away from a potential double-double, but I think those individual accolades mean nothing. It's about winning the FIBA Europe Cup Championship. That's what matters to both these two teams. Well, fans, we are going to leave you with the highlights very, very soon. But to all of our viewers from Greece, Efcharisto and Kali Nikta, to all of our fans in Spain, muchas gracias and buenas noches. It's the first leg. We'll see you next week for the second leg of the 11th final. It's the 2026 FIBA Europe Cup final as we're headed to Bilbao.